my name is Natalie, and this is my Flosstube channel, Sugar and Stitches, and this is my third Flosstube video. So for any of you that don't know, Flosstube channels are mostly about cross stitch. Sometimes I will share my knitting or crochet with you guys. Today I do have a knitting project to share with you guys at the end of the video, but for the most part I am all about cross stitch. And this is my cat, Miso. He likes to be in the recordings too. He is, oh, okay. He is full gremlin airplane mode right now, so. But I have been working. I've been stitching a lot. We've been kind of busy because we've been going to all of the home football games for A&M, Texas A&M, and we went to Renaissance Fair yesterday. They have their Oktoberfest weekend for opening weekend, so that was really fun. We did some shopping. We just hung out with a couple of friends out there, so that was really fun. It's nice to be able to have some time to like dress up and be goofy and fun without it being Halloween all the time, though a lot of the projects that I have to show you guys today are going to be Halloween related, so I'm excited to get into that. I have 2 whips to show you that I've just made progress on. I have 3 whips that I've completed, so I have finishes to show you guys, and then I have 1 really small start and finish to show you guys. So I will hop right into that. So the first thing that I have to show you guys is Azula by Bella Filipina. And this is what this will look like when it's finished. As I've said before, I opted to go for a lighter fabric on this because I kind of think that this darker fabric is too dark for like the roses and everything to show up super well. So I decided to go with something a little bit lighter. So I'm stitching this on 28 count hibiscus. And here is what that looks like so far. So I will put a picture of where this was last time I showed it to you guys up in the corner here. But I've worked a lot more on that that kind of wrought iron pole, and then all of the vines and leaves and roses and everything kind of crawling up. And this piece, I don't know, when I started this it didn't have as much significance as it does now, but now this piece kind of reminds me of me and my husband's trip to Florence this year. So every time I look at this, I'm like, I don't know, it holds a special place in my heart because I just think about us, like, you know, walking along the Arno River and, you know, sitting outside eating dinner by one of those like firelight things, the heaters and everything. We were sitting out there and had some really good steak Florentine and ribolletta and all of that. So it makes me think about Florence, and that was one of the best times. So it makes me a little nostalgic, and I have a lot more passion for this project, I think, than I did when I first picked it out, because when I first picked it out I loved it, but it has more of like a sentimental value to me now, I guess. So yeah, I really like that one. I didn't really intend to do as much on it as I ended up doing, but it just kind of, you know, took me. Sometimes when you start and pull out a project, you're like, oh, I don't think I'll do that much on this, and then you just kind of get carried away, and all of a sudden you've done a lot on it. Next thing that I have to show you guys is the Night of the Frost Dragon salve from Flossy Fox Shop, and I'm doing this as this is a mystery stitch along. I'm specifically doing this with Stitch Flurries on Instagram. She got me into Flossy Fox Shop, and we started this together, so I am super excited to get working on the second part. But for now, because the second part came out a couple days ago on the 10th, I've only done the first part so far. I've been working on my new start that I have, so I haven't done the other part to it yet, but I do have a finish on the first part of the salve. So I love this so much. It's so cute. It's adorable. And I love the little honorary frost dragon, little fire dragon with a hat. And again, I have this minder from Agnes Needle. What is it called? Agnes Needle Minders, I think. Agnes Little Minders. They're so adorable. But this is like the perfect needle minder for this project, and I've really enjoyed stitching on this. So the next part goes out horizontally this way, so it'll be like this chunk right here. So I'm excited to start working on that and get that in. So yeah. I love working on that. That's just one of those really nice and easy, just like kind of not color blocky, but just like simple, only DMC threads, like very easy chart to read, nice to stitch on, like it's a nice break. So those are the only two things that I've worked on that I haven't finished in the past month, which is kind of wild. As you guys know from previously, like I used to have like 50 projects going, and I've tried to like pare down, kind of whip down that number significantly. So now I only have like 13, I think, or 12 or something like that. And it keeps surprising me how much progress I've been getting. Like every month I do these videos, like I'm actually able to show like a finish almost every month, which is crazy to me, honestly. The next thing I will show you guys will be, this was my start and finish, and so I had ordered some Ada that I will show you guys in my haul. It's a little bit of a disappointing story with that, but I'll get into that later. This shop did send me a tiny piece of a sample Ada with this as well, and so I decided to stitch, it's a really pretty orange color, so I decided to stitch a little Halloween small on it, and this is Spooky Birthday Cupcakes, I think. I believe this is from the Witchy Stitcher. If not, I'll put who it is actually by down here. But she has 3 of these. She has a ghost one, she has a Frankenstein one, and a pumpkin one, and I did the ghost one. This is not originally charted with any backstitch. I did this backstitch because I thought the ecru kind of blended in a little bit too much with the background, so I just added a little bit of backstitch around the frosting. But I really like this. I think it's adorable. I ordered some 3-inch hoops that I might finish this in. And maybe, I don't know, maybe next year I'll do the other 2 or something like that, and then I can have all 3 of them in little hoops and maybe do like little Halloween ornaments or something out of them. But this is what I have. This is what I did this year, so it's cute. And that's a freebie on her website too, so feel free to go download those patterns because they're extra cute. Alright, the next thing that I finished was Mystically Awkward. So I did finish this pattern. This is one that has kind of like your 3D colors, so it has like the teal and the yellow and the red, and then it has white little stars all around it. I love this pattern, but I also did not enjoy stitching this that much, to be honest with you. It was more of a... It was hard to get myself to work on this one, so I'm really glad it's done. It's one that I kind of wanted the finished project on, but I didn't want, but I didn't necessarily enjoy stitching with all the typography and stuff, so I'm glad this is finished. I'm not sure how I want to actually FFO this, though, fully finish it. I was looking at some 10 by 12 frames, like oval frames, to possibly finish this in. It's not a perfect circle. It is wider than it is tall, so I feel like it would look a little bit weird in a hoop finish, and I don't have that much margin on the top and bottom anyway, so I don't know if it would even fit for a hoop finish. So I might either try and find an oval frame or just a rectangle frame that will fit this, and we'll see. But yes, I have this finished. Alright, this next one, y'all, I definitely underestimated how long this was going to take me to finish after I fully stitched her dress and everything, because there was so much metallic and so many beads in this pattern. It was insane. But this is the Halloween Fairy by Nora Corbett, and this one you can get on the Hirschner's website. I did everything called for except for the metallics. I subbed out the Krynix for Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid because I cannot stand most metallic floss. Most of it frays so badly. It's so frustrating to work with. So I ended up doing her with the Rainbow Gallery threads instead. but she is so, like, I'm trying to get, like, the sparkle. She is so sparkly and beautiful. I had gotten her all the way up to doing, I had stitched all of her dress, the trick or treat in Krynic. I had done her legs, and in my mind I told myself, I don't have that much left to do, like only the pumpkins and then it's just backstitch and beads. I don't know if you guys, how well you guys can see, but like, do you see how many beads she has? Like that entire moon is Krynic, and then she's just bead after bead after bead after bead, and then all of the vines and the spider webs and everything down there are also all Krynic. So she is a sparkly girl. And I have so I bought a frame for her. I just actually need to frame her, but I do want her framed and hung up somewhere so I can enjoy her for the rest of the Halloween season. So I'm super happy with this finish. I am so glad she's done. This did take me like 3 more days longer than I thought, because like I said, I got to the end and I was like, I only have beads and metallics to do, so it'll go really fast, and it did not go really fast. One thing I think I want to try actually is, so if you guys have ever used like a beading needle, these are like really long. So a lot of beading needles are super long like this, as opposed to like the smaller normal, this is like a normal size cross stitch needle, and I really don't like the long beading needles. So I actually found on 123 Stitch some short beading needles that I want to try, just because I don't like working with the really long needles, and honestly I don't really know why you would need to use a really long needle. The only thing I could think of is that maybe it's easier to do like the strings of beads. Like on my Summer Queen, she has a bunch of like these ropes that are hanging. Maybe it's easier to like just kind of like string multiple beads along your needle and then let them all fall down onto the thread. But that's like such a rare occurrence in cross stitch to have those kind of hanging ropes like that, that I don't know, I would rather do my normal beading with a short needle. So I want to try that out and see if it's actually easier for me or not. So I hope that will be a little bit easier, make it a little bit less of a chore. My third and final finish, or I guess fourth, I keep saying third because in my mind I'm like, I had 2 things that were whips and now are actually finished. That in my mind it's 3 because the start and finish just like washes out, you know. My third finish though was Spooky Cottage by Mama Witch Cross Stitch on Etsy. And there she is. I love this one so much. This is so cute. I love the little ghosts. I love the modeling in that yellow tree down there. It's so cute. This is just adorable. I don't know what I want to do with this. I might try and do a pillow finish. I also might just try and find like a square frame that might work pretty well. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm really happy with this. This was a lot more stitches than I thought it was when I bought it. Like I imported it into Pattern Keeper, and I think it was somewhere between like 6,000 and 7,000 stitches. So it's dense. Like it's not that big of a pattern, but it is definitely very like stitch dense. So she is finished though, and she has another Halloween finish that is ready to go and be FFO'd, so I can actually hopefully display this Halloween season. So that's really cool. So those, oh, sorry, I almost forgot to show you guys my new start. So I also had a new start. Since I did finish 3 things, I let myself start one Halloween thing to scratch the start something new itch, and I started the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Midnight Way, which I'll put a picture of where that what that will look like when it's finished up here. And then here is where I am on it. So with this, so I kind of wanted to try and get this entire like third done before I end up moving on to working on the second part of the Night of the Frost Dragon cell. When I used to have a ton of whips, one of my biggest problems was that I would start something and I would only put like a few hundred stitches into it, and then I would stop And then I would have projects where like I hadn't touched them in, you know, a year or like many, many months at least. And I don't want to do that. I want to actually like finish things and like get good progress on stuff. So I want to try and finish at least this whole bookshop and the little motifs under the bookshop, and then maybe the lamppost that goes here before I start on my second part of Night of the Frost Dragon. The other thing that I would like to get back to is my hedgehogs and legonberries cross stitch, which I didn't work on that at all this past month, so I won't show that to you here, but I do want to go work on that a little bit more and possibly try and get a finish there. So, and I'll go over plans a little bit more when I talk about my haul and everything, but this is so cute, and this is just done on the called for 28 count whimsy, I believe. It's super cute. I love Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. All of their patterns are so adorable. I mean, just look at that little Venus flytrap with the little fly right there. It's so cute. Yeah, I love this. I'm so enjoying working on that. I don't want to put it down anytime soon, at least. So I will show you guys. I brought some of my older Halloween finishes in here to show you guys, just so I'd have some other stuff to show you, because I don't feel like I have a lot of like projects to show you, you know, so I have brought a few of my older projects. Oh yeah, this is also tangentially related to haul, because I got a little bit more, a few more things from this designer in my haul. But Satsuma Street has the cutest little ornaments, and this is Wise Owl. I did this one like 2 years ago, and it is so cute. Her ornaments are adorable, and she has so many Halloween ones, and she also has a lot of really cute Christmas ones now too, but they come with all the beads and the perforated paper and all of the floss that you need to stitch them, so they're complete full kits and everything. So I have not finished this guy. As you can see, the back of him is kind of a mess. He doesn't have like a hanger, and doesn't have like the felt on the back or anything yet, but he just hangs out on my desk for now, keeping me company with his cute little wizard hat. So that was a kit from Satsuma Street. This next one was a pattern from Little Beach Hut on Etsy, and this was actually the first cross-stitch pattern that I ever finished as an adult, because I started the Riolis sunflowers up here a while ago. Like when I was in college, I started this as like my first cross-stitch pattern as an adult, because I had been taught to as a really young kid, but I never really did it throughout high school and stuff, and then I got back to it in college as like kind of like a stress management, like, you know, de-stressing hobby. But I did her little trick-or-treat pattern, and this this is a super simple one. It was only, well, like there's the white, gray, green, orange, so it's only 4 different colors, and it's just super simple, super easy to do, really cute, really quick. I had gotten about halfway through my sunflowers, and I wanted something to like reward myself with for getting halfway, so I was like, okay, I'll just start this one little thing, because, you know, I used to be a monogamous project stitcher, and now I'm not, which I feel like is the case with a lot of people that end up doing Flosstube, or even just watching Flosstube. You start out like, oh, I went to the craft store and bought a kit, which is like what I did with that, and then you stitch that one kit and you finish it, and then you go get something else. But if you watch Flosstube, you fall down the rabbit hole of all the beautiful patterns and everything, so definitely I have more than one project now, so. But yeah, that one was really cute and simple. This next one is also really cool. And this this was back in the olden days of COVID. So this was The Plague Nurse, and this was by, I want to say Witchy Stitcher. Witchy Stitcher and Night Spirit Studio I confuse all the time, and I'm sorry. I'll put the correct one right here. But this was The Plague Nurse, and she did this as a freebie, actually, back in 2020. So I stitched this back in 2020 and finished it in this cute little frame. It was a rough time, you know, as I'm sure it was for a lot of people going through, having to live through that, but I really like the pattern, and it, nowadays, I don't know. I like the pattern. It's a cute Halloween decoration now, but part of me looks back at it and I'm like, wow, we actually lived through that. That was kind of wild. But yeah. I can't believe this was a free pattern along with the self-isolating bat, which I have that pattern, but I have not stitched it yet. It's kind of wild to me that she did these as free patterns just because they're pretty big for free patterns and like they're very good, like detailed patterns. So usually you get freebies and they're like tiny, you know, like I like my little cupcake, don't get me wrong, but like the cupcake's a lot smaller than this whole guy is, so yeah. But yeah, so I have this sitting on my end table in my house for Halloween. And then the last previous finish that I wanted to show you guys was also from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This was their Halloween sampler. And I just did like, this was my first attempt at doing anything as like a flat finish, so it's a little bit of a mess. But I love this sampler. It's so cute, and I think I did the entire border around it first. I stitched this with everything just called for, and then I think I did just like a block a day, so like the H, the A, the L, all of that, like one a day basically for, so I think it was H for Haunted House, A for Apparition, L for Lightning, L for Lollipop, O for Owl, W for Witch, E for Eye, E for Eek, and then N for Ninja. But I did all of this like one block a day. It was super easy to stitch, super fast, and it's adorable. I love this so much. It's really cute. I love the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery so much. Hence why I started their Midnight Way, right? Because, you know, you can never have too much cute Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery stuff, so, right. Alright, so those are my previous finishes. So the next thing that I have to show you guys is going to be my haul for this video. Let's see. So the first thing that I'll start off with was kind of a disappointing thing. So I had been looking for a linen, or not a linen. I kind of also, part of this is my fault because I kind of changed my mind on what I ended up wanting to do. Because I had thought that I wanted to do this on Ada because that's what the pattern calls for. However, because of the amount of fractional stitches in it, I don't think I actually want to do it on Ada. So I ordered this linen, this Ada, sorry, 18 count Ada, off of Etsy, and before I had ordered it, I had messaged the shop and I had asked them if they did fat halves, because the pattern that I was thinking about starting on this is Siri from Make It Pink, which I'll put a picture of up here. And it was barely maybe going to fit on a fat quarter, or I think it might have actually been over a fat quarter. So I messaged the shop because I really liked this linen, which in person it does look a lot different, and it has like this kind of ray effect that I'm not sure how I feel about. But I had messaged them and asked like if they did fat halves, and they had told me, no, we don't do fat halves, but our fat quarters are actually this measurement. I just listed as like the standard fat quarter measurement. And that Siri would fit with not great margins, but with margins on the measurements that she gave me. However, when I actually got this fabric in and measured it myself, it was a whole inch short on this side, including the selvage, which, again, I had messaged her and literally basically told her, like, I have a project in mind. The fit would be really tight on a fat quarter. Do you ever do fat halves? And so when she told me that her fat quarters were a certain dimension, I kind of assumed she meant like the stitchable area was that dimension and not like including the selvage and stuff, because obviously you can't stitch on the selvage. Whatever, I got it in, and the actual stitchable area is about like 1.5 inches short, excluding the selvage is like part of the stitching area. So this definitely is not going to work for my Siri. Technically I could fit it. It would have basically like 0 margins though, and I don't want to spend that much time on a project that I would likely want to get framed like nicely just to have it, you know, have no margin and be like a massive pain in the butt. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this fabric. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep it, but I don't know what I'm doing with it at this point. And I don't know. I was going to do Siri for my New Year, New Start, but I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, but it's like sometimes you have a project and you can't find the floss for it, or you can't seem to find the right fabric color, or like whatever it might be, but it just kind of like puts you off of the project as a whole. And I feel like that's kind of happened to me here, because I'm like, I love the project and like I have the pattern, but I've just kind of, I don't know. It's a little intimidating because of all the partial stitches, which, excuse me, which I've done partial stitches before, and I'm like no stranger to beading and backstitch and partial stitches. Like, it doesn't bother me, but it's such an undertaking for the size of the project. Like, I really need a fat half for that project. And I also probably don't want to do it on Aida, even though that's what the pattern calls for, just because the Aida is, you know, I don't want to have to be doing a bunch of partial stitches on Aida and having to split threads and everything. So I think I'm going to try and order some linen eventually for it. But because of the way that I feel about that project after all, and, you know, after the fabric and everything happened, I'm kind of wondering if I even want to try and finish that, or like start that for 2025 New Year, New Start, or if I want to pick something else, because I have a pattern that I just got. I have two things also that I just got from 123 Stitch that I could make my New Year, New Start. So the first is Dear Dreams by Barbara Anna. So I saw this, and since I'm planning to finish Cosmic Dreams this year. Sorry for the glare on this. Since I'm planning to finish Cosmic Dreams this year, I wanted to start another Barbara Anna. So I think after I finish Cosmic Dreams, I'll start this one. That, or it could, this is a candidate for a New Year, New Start. It's a lot smaller than I would normally do for a New Year's start, but that just means I'd actually like finish it within the year probably, and it would, you know, be done. And then with that, I got the called for gray sparkle fabric from 123 Stitch, as well as this chart calls for a few different DMC variations flosses, so I got both of those. I just really like her. She gives me like Narnia vibes with the horns and the lanterns and snow and everything, but she also gives me kind of Klimt vibes with her coat that has all of the like teal and then the orange and everything like that. So I really like this one. That's definitely a candidate for like if I end up deciding I want to do something for a New Year, New Start, but I don't want it to be like a huge project. That could definitely take it. The other thing that I ordered, I really, really have liked this pattern for a very, very long time. I haven't done a Mereshka kit yet, but this has been one of my favorites, and it's been on my list for so long, and I've almost ordered it so many times that I just decided to pick it up. This is Bubbles, and I love her so much. I love the mermaid. I love all the lanterns and the water around her, and just her sitting there blowing bubbles. She's so pretty. You know, it was funny too, because I actually really like the way that Mereshka and Riolis do their floss organization. If you look at the back of this, sorry for the crinkling, they do these big, like, bobbin cards, and they do have the floss cards, but I like to keep them on the bobbins. It was funny. I was watching someone on YouTube who was basically on Flosstube who was saying the exact opposite. They were like, I hate these types of bobbins, and I was like, I mean, you do you, but I don't like having to, like, try and thread the extra thread. Like, when you're stitching, you pull one thread off, and then you have some extra. Like, I don't like having to thread it back through these little... Especially when it's short, trying to thread that back through here is like a pain. I'm just like, no, I'd rather have it on bobbins. But she is really, really pretty. So this is a candidate for a New Year, New Start. The other thing I like to keep in mind is I don't want to have too many kits going at the same time, because kit stitching is like a very specific type of stitching to me, where there's a lot of color changes, there's a lot of backstitch, there's a lot... I usually end up concentrating a lot harder when I'm trying to do a kit versus when I'm just doing like a PDF pattern or something that's more like color blocky. So I have 2 kits going right now. They're both realist kits. One of them I'm planning to still finish this year, so I'll only have 1 kit on the go next year. So I don't know. I could start that for my New Year New Start. I also fell victim to Satsuma Street's Christmas ornaments this year. And I picked up Lolly Claus and Santa Claus, and these are super, super adorable. I want to start and finish both of these in December, which is, you know, a decision. They have so many cute ones. Like, look at this penguin. That penguin is adorable. Or like, they also have Snow Buddy, the little snowman right there. He's so cute. But I definitely want to start and finish both of these in December, which is like a big goal, you know? At least for me. Like, they are deceptively small. Let's just say that. Deceptively small. So I have those 2. My other planned things that I want to do is I do want to get, I don't know if I'm going to finish my hedgehogs before the next video, but I want to be at least close to finishing my hedgehogs. The realist kit that I have, hedgehogs and ligonberries, I at least want to be close to finishing that before the next video. And I am planning on attending the Jingle Ball this year. Ooh, there's a fly. I am planning on attending the Jingle Ball this year. I really want to try and get into the Tiny Modernist class for the gingerbread house, which I'll put a picture of that up here. But to my understanding, you do the pre-stitching for it, and then you just show up to the class with like your stitched piece, and you're ready to like finish it, fully finish it. So I really would like to try and get a ticket for that class. At the very least, though, even if I don't get a ticket for that class, I will be around in like a stitching table or something, because I've bought a ticket the past 2 years, but I haven't really like done stitching tables and everything. I've just kind of gone in, lurked, bought the patterns that I like, and then left. So this year I really want to actually like do the stitching tables and everything like that, so I will stick around for that. But I do want to try and do that gingerbread house. It's adorable. It's something that's a little bit different for me than just like frame it or do a flat fold or like whatever. It's actually like having a little house like that is really cute in my opinion, so I'm kind of excited to try that. And yeah, I'm still deciding what I want to do for my New Year, New Start, and I think it's really going to depend on how the next couple months go for me stitching-wise. If I don't finish my other 2 things that I want to finish, which are my hedgehogs and then my Cosmic Dreaming Girl, I might just start my Dear Dreaming by Barbara Anna, just to have something smaller to start. If I do finish those, I might start my Bubbles kit or like Siri or something bigger. But I'll see. I'll see what happens. I'm not entirely convinced of what I want to do, and I think a lot of it's going to depend on like where I am towards the end of December and like how I'm feeling and everything. So, yeah. With that being said, I do have one knitting project to show you guys. I decided to torture myself by starting the Poet Shawl by Sari In, and she has so many beautiful patterns on Ravelry, but you guys, this is a fingering weight shawl done in mostly seed stitch, which is like painful for me. So I've only done this much of it. I'm doing it in, this is Garnet from Traveling Yarn and fingering weight. I have a ton of this. And also I have this little clip. So we went to Ren Fair this week, as I told you guys, and I found this little shawl clip while I was there, and I thought it was so pretty, and so I was like, I want that for when this project is done, so that I can have a clip to like clip it around myself. So yeah, but this is all in seed stitch and it's fingering weight, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. It's seed stitch for most of it, and then you have like a lace section, and then another seed stitch section, and then another lace section. So, but yeah, that's really pretty though. I'm excited for this to be done, and it will be done in approximately eternity, to be honest with you, because this will take a hot minute to finish. But I really like this color. I really love the pattern. And I really like this cool shawl clip that I got at the Ren Fair. So, yeah. I was looking for something like this, and I had found a few on Etsy that I really liked, but also I kind of like if you can buy something in person, like there's more of an experience associated with it, because like now this will always be the pen that I bought at, you know, Ren Fair 2024, so yeah. Outside of that though, not much else. Like I said, I just want to work on my hedgehogs. I want to finish at least a third of Midnight Way. I hope to have that third of Midnight Way finished, be caught up on the Frost Dragon Sal, so the second part completely done, and at least near to finishing my hedgehogs by the time I talk to you guys next. We'll see if that happens. So I hope you all have a great Halloween if you celebrate it. Like I said, I hope you guys get lots of candy and everything. We just went to the grocery store this morning and bought like 4 bags of, you know, 100-piece candy, which, holy crud, it is not cheap anymore. I don't know. It seems like every time all the bags we were looking at, it's like, oh yeah, it's like $20 for a bag of candy, and I was like, oh my god. But it's worth it. I don't know. It's worth it for me. I really enjoy having the trick-or-treaters and everything. We got pumpkins to carve. We have our Halloween decorations up and everything. So, you know, I got my spooky shirt on and my cute little jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treat basket earrings. So I am fully ready for the day to be here and for us to get to hand out candy to all the kids and see all their costumes and everything. So it'll be really fun, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun. If you have kids, I hope they have fun trick-or-treating and celebrating and everything. So I hope you guys have some good stitching in between now and the next time that I see you guys, and I hope to be able to report back with some more progress in another month. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like my video, you can hit subscribe so that I show up on your feed whenever I post a new video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend and work week. So, bye.